Hi, my name is Michael Delvizis and I go to California High School in San Ramon, California. I'm psyched to apply for the oxyGEN scholarship and talk about my favorite subject in data science. I've been accepted to study this subject in the University of Michigan, the University of North Carolina, and the University of California, San Diego. So here we go. There's more data produced in the last 2 years than the rest of human history. All of this data cannot possibly be analyzed without computers, so it got coined the term big data. Data science is the practice of asking specific questions, finding and cleaning data that can answer these questions, and organizing the data in a way that can give us answers. This way, we can use it to make important predictions and decisions. Let me tell you my favorite data story to explain more. That way you can geek out about big data like I do. This story is about a man named Jeff Sater, a man who predicts the best racehorses for a living. Before Sater, horse experts bought their child horses based on pedigree and running time. This worked sometimes, but was very inconsistent. There are many examples of horses with perfect pedigrees that were sold for 16 plus mil only to win 10K in races. This is where Sater had his opening. He would use any data to match specific traits with success. He measured horse nostril size, fast twitch muscle size, hoof size, and even excrement weights, out of all things, to predict the big winners. But he hit the jackpot when he found when the large left ventricle size was present in all the winning horses. He went to the horse auction one day to buy his first horse, and the horse he bought was overlooked by so many, Sater was able to get him for cheap. He named it American Pharoah. American Pharoah would go on to win the Triple Crown and become the most winning horse of all time. What was Pharaoh's claim to fame in Sater's eyes, you might ask? He had a left ventricle size in the 99.6th percentile. Insane. This story highlights some of the most important ideas behind data science. The first principle is that we don't need to understand why our models work at first. This allows us to be bold in what we use and what counts as data. Hence our example of Sater trying to use horse poop as data. Using absolutely anything as data is what makes data science and big data so unique. This creativity gives us the opportunity to learn from data we previously labeled as junk. The second thing that our story reveals is that we can revolutionize industries that previously had old, lousy methods. Before Sater's data science approach, people would overpay for horses that rarely panned out. With data science, we can increase working productivity and accuracy of our results, allowing businesses to thrive where they were previously struggling. So you might be thinking, data science has huge potential, and you would be 1,000% right. So I prepared a couple of my favorite projects for you. My first example is analyzing pictures of Instagram profiles to check for depression. One group recently used data science to learn that profiles that had dark and gray color tones, low number of comments, and low number of people in photographs were correlated with depression. This is absolutely amazing because we can get ahead of these signs and get these people help. My second example is a self-designed project I worked on in my computer science class, which is using NFL Combine scores to predict future success of draftees. The program imported data, reported top event performers by position, and implemented multiple sorting features which helped me make predictions on future draft prospects. One of the things I learned is that the best running backs and defensive ends performed amazing in the three-cone drill. This information could help my Oakland Raiders finally turn their draft history around, add stars to my hurting team. Before I go, I want to share some of my personal aspirations in the field. As a founder of the homeless outreach in Oakland, California, that has raised more than $8,000 and fed more than 10,000 people, I have seen the homeless epidemic firsthand. I was truly inspired when I read an article on how 10% of the homeless population accumulates 90% of the social costs in things such as hospital bills. In this city that was researched, public policy changes were made providing houses and psychological services to this 10%, which ended up saving the city money even though they were employing extra resources. This article made me realize that I too can use big data to make a difference by using data skills to tackle the homeless epidemic through public policy. Thanks again for taking the time to watch my video. Have a great day and remember to think big.